fall for it. Keep your head up, never let them get you fed up. You just step up, get your rep up, get your cash up, get your check up. The whole system's a setup. It's time we really get up. We've been about this revolution from the time we met up. Take it back, I got my fist up. Malcolm X in '88. A revolution only works for those that will participate. You are great, they are fake. Yo, it's time to demonstrate higher level mental states. Conscious people congregate. Show the love, not the hate. This is basic, no debate. But these people are debating and they hating. They should wait. It was bickering amongst ourselves and got us in this state. Yeah, the truth is inconvenient, but the truth is never late. You can't see what they be doing, how they thinking, how they moving. You can't see what they pursuing, making claims none are proven. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. We can see who is the enemy. Sovereignty's the remedy. You don't need telepathy, it's white supremacy. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Bringing the raw, doing a tour. Government officials bringing the law. You never see what you never saw. 303, open the door. Knowledge reigns, that is the game. Ignorance, that is insane. Don't fall for it. The reps and the Dems are the same. This one's shooting us up. That one's locking us up. This one got us stuck. That one's out of luck. You can front if you need to. The cycle never ends. No justice, but in 4 years they hyping us again. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you burning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you love it, never hate it. You agree it, don't debate it.
What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164.
Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Yo, me, I'm not a fake dude. I'ma keep it real. They see through it all that America needs a heel deal. America ain't really sick. This is what it really is. Gunshots and cages for black and brown little kids. Now they acting like they not the cause of how we live. Tell me what you gonna do. I can see what you did. Look at her. Look at him. Look at them. Look at me. Do you see our interests represented in society?
No.
You don't and you won't. Because democracy's a joke.
Right.
Before you
Right.
the same
Right.
people asking
Right.
us to vote. Nothing changed but the range over. Switching things over. I remain the flamethrower. Knowledge reigns. Game over. Don't fall for
Don't
it.
fall
Don't
for
you
it.
fall for it. Rodney King, George Floyd, man, we all saw it. So don't protest with the fines, but don't move with self-reliance. While the soul is being silenced for the religion of science. Don't fall for it. Don't
The
you fall
religion
for it.
of science.
Don't you fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you earning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning, don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? This is Super Mike 2164. I would love it if you press the like button on this here. Press the like button. Help me out. You can do that to help me out by pressing that little like button on there. Press the share button. Share it on your social media. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I do upload a lot, and I would like to talk to you one day. So you'll be notified when I go live, and maybe you can put your opinion on the show. Valued. So I have this picture up here. This is kind of what inspired this show. I don't understand this here, guys. But this is religion. But this is what the brother said on the song, the religion of science. Religion is not just what you think it is. You know, it is a whole human condition, a thing that I guess human beings are able to do. I mean, we're naturally inclined to venerate certain things. And we're always looking for something. We're always looking for something that's greater than ourselves, and, you know, trying to develop ourselves and trying to elevate ourselves. And sometimes when we venerate something that is equal to or even less than ourselves, then I think we kind of jump into idolatry. And that is when you start worshiping an idol, something that you can create your own self, the idol doesn't move unless you move it. and even another human being which is equal to yourself, you can't worship another human being that on the body of a human being is basically like a thing. It's going to live, it's going to die. Okay. The body, the avatar of a single human being. Now, God does come to us through human beings, but we must be sure that we're not worshiping that actual individual body. We're worshiping the power that God is showing us through maybe this person or this group of people. We're not worshiping the body of the person. So the image of the person, if God is doing his work, and then, a lot of us, we got to have a concept of God. We got a lot of this God thing, boy. This is something we really need to understand. And the people who think that if you think you can run away from this God understanding stuff, like they said, I don't believe in religion. Religion is evil. Religion. And you think you're just getting away from it. No, buddy, it don't work like that. Because most people on this planet and are susceptible to this. And if you choose to ignore that, you still are human. As a human being, you're going to venerate something. You're going to venerate something. And that's something that we need to do. Now, let me ask you this. This is the question here. Black people, it seemed like we needed religion. Did we need this religion? Because if we didn't need it, then would we have it? Now, I know some people say, well, we was conquered, we were enslaved. Well, how could somebody enslave you if you had a superior spiritual system? If you had a superior spiritual system and it was leading you to advancing in your development, it was leading you to a higher state and a more advanced state of survival in the universe, how could an inferior business model overtake and still confuse your own people to this very day? This is, we're talking about spiritual systems. They want us to listen to Africa and follow the African Orishas and spiritual systems and Olodumares, and we're supposed to listen to that. But what are they doing in Africa? What are they doing in the Caribbean? Now, let me ask you this here. What does this do here? This eventually could turn into, let me see if I could show something. Actually, share this screen. This could turn into this here. You see, this is actually, you know what? This would even be better is for me to show this. When the thing is, when we start worshiping another flesh. You're basically worshiping the flesh of an individual.
When that, like for example, with the Breonna Taylor situation, I have yet to hear one black man say, well,
this is funny. This is what I'm gonna look at this here. I just want y'all to show. You see, when you start having that image there, that worship white image, that worship the white image. This is who we end up with. We end up with a cult of white male worship and white female worship. And that's what you got here, what you're dealing with somebody, for example, like a Cynthia G. And that's what she produces. She produces white male worship. And then in turn, she has self-hatred. And she produces black female self-hatred and black male self-hatred. This is the time. That's her whole focus. And I mean, she's hyper focused on that. But it just easily shows up in this way, but it shows up in other ways with everyone else. I guess I won't show that because she don't really have it on there anymore. But I wanted to show. You know, I could just actually just show this part. Her page itself is just a bunch of colorism. Her hyper focus is on colorism. It's on what's going on, everybody. Like I said, press the thumbs up button. Press the subscribe button if you hadn't. So I'm showing this here. I'm showing this. And anybody that comes up, you can come up and react to any of this here. I'm gonna put the link if you're on. I want to show this. Now, why am I showing this? Oh, Michael, are you triggered by this? Well, yeah, because what ends up happening here is we're creating a community of confused people as far as on the black side. But then what you do, she's actually the quintessential mammy type that's on the plantation. You know, a mammy is somebody who would take care of and do for. She's not a mama. She's a mammy. She do for white kids instead of her own kids. She does for the white person instead of her own man. She does for the white man. That's a mammy. And now that's an old slave term. So anybody that wants to confuse the mammy term, that's, they're confusing it because, and I'll show you what I mean by that. This is and I'm going to show, this is like to me one of the best examples of just what we end up with. Now, Cynthia does a good job at highlighting the black male worship of the white woman, but she literally does the white male worship of from the black woman to the white man. That's literally what she's doing. So Then she goes into this crap. Should biracials identify as black?
Having
You know, this is something that she hates. And she gets big donations from this. You know, so she makes good money doing this. But she doesn't like it. And I mean, I understand we shouldn't encourage this here. But, you know, if people end up falling in love on automatic, that is what it is. But you know, it's not something to be hyper focused on. Here's a white man. I'm interested to hear what this white man has to say about Cynthia G's commentary. Because what happens is she gives these white people room to spew their hatred based off of her hatred. She's their mouthpiece. So I'm going to listen to what this white man has to say.
I'm not protecting a random woman that I don't know. I'm not doing that. But Black women, when they saw George Floyd was their brother. George Floyd was their son. That was their uncle. That was their cousin. So there's a disconnect where Black men simply don't see Black women through the same lenses that Black women see Black men.
Yeah, I saw that clip, I listened to that clip a couple of days ago, and I think it was yesterday actually. But man, that was a bombshell statement. It hit me hard because recently, as you know, I've made the video defending Black men, and I still believe that there are many good Black men who just don't have this behavior towards Black women. Let me just keep it at that. They don't have the ill behavior, but there are dusty types that do, and kind of got attacked by some divestors because they feel that all quote unquote Black men are bad, and I don't roll with that. That's not my message, and I don't want to carry that out. I don't believe it. But here's the thing. When I heard this, and I listened to a lot of different YouTubers, when I heard this, I thought, well, it makes me understand those divestors a little better, because here's the question that they're asking and the question that I want to ask too. If the good Black men are against this happening, where these dusty males, regardless of what race they are, if they're against this happening, then why aren't more of them speaking up? I mean, there are a couple, and I've definitely linked to them, at least in one video that I made. And I'm actually talking to another guy right now that is anti that message. And he speaks out, but I don't really see a lot of Black men who go against this,
First of all, why is this white man speaking on our business? You see, this is what I'm talking about. This white man is speaking on our business. He's putting himself in the middle between the Black man and the Black woman. And that's what I mean with the Cynthia G crap. And that's all I'm saying, guys. When you allow another man to get into between you and your woman, and he has the authority because you got somebody here that's training them. You're training your woman to venerate this flesh. Look what you're training your people to do. Is this real religion? Is this real worship of the actual God? Look at everything back there. And I can do this with Islam, because guess what? I'll do it just to be balanced here. Do it with Islam, this is not really about necessarily the religion yet, but I really wanted to get into this flesh worship. I mean, if this is what we're doing, the people who end up in this, then we're going to have a problem here. That's the problem of the world. That's where your racism is coming from. Let me show this real quick. Here's a Cynthia G cult person. Now, if you notice, hold on. Hold on. All right. So if you notice this here, this girl, she's on Dennis Sperling's channel. He's interviewing her. This woman has a Confederate battle flag mask on. She has a Confederate battle flag mask on. And this is the group of people who fought to keep slavery, chattel slavery in the United States. They went to war to keep chattel slavery going in the United States. This is what, like I said, this is what this worship of the white male image was designed to do. And then she's being trained by Cynthia G. And this is what I mean by, I'm just saying, like, we can't pretend like this stuff is not happening. We can't just ignore it. We don't have to hate anybody, but we got to call this crap out, because this girl is really just making money, spreading all this toxic, energy all over the place. I mean, it's not like it's going to stop anybody, but anybody who's pulled into this kind of, hatred of blackness, of themselves, especially if you are black. We really don't care if the white man try to meddle, because we know that's what they're going to do. But, it's just kind of messed up to have people get confused by this, because this girl is literally in a religion like.
Is these same lovely ladies that you say you want to get with, and y'all want to have this black female thing. I don't know what you would say. I don't want to miss.
Yeah, it's a divestment utopia.
yeah, but these same women in this divestment utopia have this same toxic culture that has destroyed the black community. And now they're taking it, they're exporting it other places.
Well, that's why we have, our people, like, I know you don't like her, but Cynthia G, she's helping black women like that learn the pathology of these black men and learn that they don't have to accept certain things, that they can think of their wound as like their temple.
So there you go. That's religion. Cynthia G is she's the priestess. She's the priestess. Anyway, let me get on to this part of the subject too. I just wanted to share that, but I'm going to share this too, just in the religion in general. Now, when you're dealing with Bible, I wanted to go into this. The nativist riots of 1844. In July 1844, Philadelphia suffered for some of the bloodiest rioting of the antebellum period as anti-immigrant mobs attacked Irish. See, these are all white people. But the anti-immigrant mobs, well, they call them anti-immigrant, but they didn't like the Protestants because they had a different Bible. These are all Christians. They're coming from, and the Irish, I believe they were Catholics. But then the English Americans, they were Protestant. They used the King James Bible. So they attacked this. They had churches, the Catholic churches before, So anti-immigrant mobs attacked Irish American homes and Roman Catholic churches before being suppressed by the militia. This violence, now keep in mind, this is a violent America. The violence was part of a wave of riots that convulsed American cities, plural, starting in 1830s. Yet even amid this tumult, they stand out for their duration, itself a product of nativists. And they say nativists is just people who want to vet immigrants. I mean, if you spent your time building up a country, building up a territory or area, and then you want to just have some guy just come in from some other country and just take over where you were from, it's not, they try to demonize, use these little weird terms, nativists, but, Let them call it what they want. Philadelphians began debating new methods of maintaining order, a discussion that contributed to the consolidation of Philadelphia County in 1854. So they had, religious antagonism, So the Bible was a reading flashpoint. So the Bible controversy intensified. District of Kensington, a suburb of northeast Philadelphia City and home to many Irish immigrants, both Protestant and Catholic. In February, Hugh Clark, a Catholic school director, suggested suspending Bible reading until the school board could devise a policy acceptable to Catholics and Protestants alike. Okay, they're both supposed to be Christian. They're both supposed to love Jesus. You see, they're both supposed to be Christian. They both love Jesus. They're all white. But they weren't thinking like that. So this is about a division point. Okay, this is just about a point of division. So the nativists saw this as a threat to their liberty. As a chance to mobilize voters, they rallied by the thousands in Independence Square, May 1844. They rallied in Kensington itself, but were chased away. The first serious violence broke out 3 days later, May 6th. The natives reassembled in Kensington, provoking another fight, during which a young, they call them nativists, a young person, a young guy who, nativist named George Schiffler, was fatally shot. By day's end, a second man, apparently a bystander, was dead and several more nativists were wounded, 2 mortally. The next day, the 1st Brigade of Pennsylvania Militia Commander Brigadier General George Cadwalder responded to the sheriff's call for help. The troops faced little direct resistance, but they proved unable to stop people from starting new fires. So they were just basically burning down, tearing up their own city. They're burning down their own city. They're tearing up their own city. Isn't that what they say that black people do when we're sick of their crap? Because we riot and tear up the city because they're not treating us correctly. We're just being American. They're tearing up their own city. They couldn't stop these white people from tearing up their own city in these nativist riots in 1844 back in Philadelphia and other cities. Over the Bible reading, they were arguing over 2 different forms of the Bible. They wanted the Catholic Bible, then has 7 more books than the King James Bible, which is the Protestant Bible. Catholic Bible versus the Protestant Bible. Now, we know also in religion, we have what's called the Crusades, which was the Islam versus the Christian traditions. Now, they try to make you think that this is so different than any other religious wars, internal religious wars. But you got to realize that Islam and Christianity are what's called Abrahamic faiths. They stem from the same seed. No matter how much you've been taught, a lot of us have been taught to look at Islam, especially if we grew up Christian or something. We've been taught to look at Islam or Judaism as something totally different, but no, it is the same line of prophets, the same line of everybody that's venerated officially in the line of Christian prophethood and God sent people. Everybody who's venerated in the line of prophets of Christian, from Adam to Abraham to Moses, all of them are venerated in. And when I say venerated, it's not a worship. It's basically they are respected as prophets of the one God in Islam. Okay. And the thing is, y'all have to study this stuff, because I know a lot of Christians, the reason why Christians get kind of picked on a lot is because in the Roman Catholic traditions and all of this Protestant stuff, they literally for centuries and centuries taught their people it was evil to even hear other people. And so you got a tradition in these churches to teach people that they can't read this, they can't read that. Oh, that's the devil, and that's the devil. This is the devil, that's the devil. This the devil. You know, and so a lot of Christian people are scared to hear anything else. They think they're gonna go to hell, and it's just not the case. You don't have to change your religion just because somebody else has the truth. The truth. This is the line of divine. Okay, so when you're dealing with these religions, but people want to argue and fight. Like I said, they're fighting over Catholic versus Protestant. They're fighting off of Muslim versus the Roman Christian, because you got to realize that, and also the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian Church, which they have their Orthodox Ethiopian Bible, it has more books than the Catholic Bible. So your Bible are the books of the venerated prophets. Okay. Then you have the Indian and Hindu stuff. You got the Rig Vedas. So, when we think about religion, what are we talking about? We need to stop just pretending like religion is just one group of people, one thing. This religion thing, people worship money. If we want to look at what's a good religion, I definitely wouldn't be worshiping flesh, especially white flesh. Because flesh lives and dies. That's not God's biological, son in that way. We're all God's biological, children in a way, because we are, as a group, we are, the direct descendants of God. We're talking about the originator. But there's no one person who's, the supreme being has, has went into somebody, and, as far as, the universal supreme being or the universal energy of Allah or God or the Most High, there's no one person for that. And we need to stop that. We need to stop this white flesh worshiping, because it gets us into all these trick bags. We start talking about a lot of weird stuff like the divestment movements, and we start letting these people, just because they have white skin, interject themselves into our conversations, into our issues, and cause us more problem. We need to stop this idol worship, because that's what this is. It's idol worship. We're falling for foolishness. It's idol worship. You're worshiping idols. And, that's how I look at it, guys. So anybody who has anything on this, go ahead and let me know. But, life, just like the minister said here, life is always presenting us with problems that we have to solve.
Send me. Of Georgia.
Life is always presenting the human being with problems.
He could give a weighty word in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful.
I think it was like,
why don't you accept the job?
And so, are we worshiping, as a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, do I worship the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? No. But the God that's in him, the God that used him to cause a work and to do a work on the planet, yeah, I worship the God, the supreme being. And so, it's the same thing with anybody. We need, 2,000 years ago, there might have been, a guy there might have been a guy, I don't think his name was Jesus, the actual word sounding Jesus. There might have been a guy who did a good work, but you don't worship that flesh. These people are doing idol worship, and these are black people. Look at this. You're bending down, prostrating. That's not worthy of a human being. That's not worthy of us. So I think I'm gonna end this off here, and I just wanted everybody to just think about this here and just do you. I would have liked a little commentary on it, but it's all good because the thing is, everything doesn't need to be said, and when we get our minds straight and we understand this, because a lot of us who think that we can just run away from religion just because some people do crazy things in religion, if you don't learn it and you don't learn how to overcome this confusion or the pitfalls that some of the people in religion present, you're going to fall for the same thing too, or your children will. So, I don't know why people think just because they ignore religion, that somehow they're advancing the human nature. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna end off on, guys. And I'm gonna think that's pretty much it. All right, peace out, guys.